I'll be like, that's cool, but I will not be attentive unless there is two people trying to get together. I don't know, that's how my brain works. I was born that way. Anyway.
Cool. Tragedies?
Tragedies.
We've been trying to get to tragedies.
We've been working on it since comedy.
It hasn't. Just hasn't. Well, yeah. Of course, I really like Macbeth. And a lot of people like Macbeth because it's an interesting storyline and things. But and it's the witches and it's creepy and bad things happen and bad guy gets it.
Tragedy, bad things happen.
And at my first year of Shakespeare training, I was witch number 1 when we did the scene, and it was fantastic.
Okay, your turn. Okay. Okay. One of my favorite Shakespeare tragedies is Hamlet, because, you know, it's Hamlet, obviously. Everyone likes Hamlet. I love Hamlet. The thing that pisses me off is that Brian Vaughan was Hamlet, and that happened the first year of Shakespeare training, and I did not have my glasses, and we were in the balcony.
Oh.
Pissed me off.
Well, at least you got to blurrily see it all.
Yes, I got to blurrily see it.
I wasn't there.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I got to hear the words. I'm pretty sure that was the only play that, the only Shakespeare play that I saw that year that I didn't fall asleep during some part of, which I was like, obviously my favorite because I stayed awake. But just that was when it first became my favorite Shakespearean tragedy, but looking at it over and over again, it kind of makes me love it more every time I see parts of it. That year I also was in I was Olivia in the Getting to a Nunnery scene. I really enjoy seeing that, the part of how Hamlet is interacting with all the other people and how you're never quite sure if he's in his right mind or if he's mad or if he's just really intelligent, or maybe if it's both, if his intelligence has made him mad, if all the conflicting things in his life have made him better or worse. And I also like how, I don't know if it was Shakespeare, if it was Brian Vaughan, but them two working together for the end scene when everyone dies, hilarious. Hamlet, definitely, if not then one of my favorite Shakespeare tragedies. You could talk about the play Othello, and I'm going to talk about Iago. I love Iago. I love me some Iago.
I really like it. It's a good story, and it's open for a lot of interpretations. Like I have a modern version. It's not Shakespearean at all, but it's based on Othello, and it's like star basketball player and his friend who's like the guy that they don't ever put out onto the court.
On the bench.
Yeah, he's on the bench. And he tries to break up the guy with his girlfriend, because I don't remember their names, but they're not Othello and Iago. But yeah, it's a cool story and things and
stuff.
Yeah, stuff and junk.
I love Iago, because he is so terrible. Like, ever since forever, I have just been like kind of fascinated with like bad guys. Like I've hated them, but like there's some bad guys that are just so evil you can't help but love their determination to be bad.
Bad guys always get the best songs and like musicals and things.
They're the best. Iago during Othello, he's the only one who actually talks to the audience, and when he's talking to it, he's like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. I'm a manipulative bastard and I like it. And it's really fantastic. He's kind of a complex character as well as being very simple, you know? It was funny because when we watched it in Shakespeare camp, like we had a discussion the next day, and normally when we have discussions we had the actors there, but that was the one time that we didn't, and we had like a discussion within the class, and it was actually really interesting. And one of the questions that they asked was, what do you think about how Othello acted? Why is the play called Othello and not Iago? Which really, I don't know why the play is called Othello and not Iago, because Iago is really the puppet master throughout the whole thing. He has his hand in everything. And I think the only reason it's called Othello is because, you know, it's like the tragedy of, you know, Hamlet, Prince of Denmark. I think it's the tragedy of Othello, but it's the story of Iago manipulating everyone and being all badass. It's very interesting. Like, I think looking at Othello, he's kind of an interesting character as well, because I don't remember what we were talking about exactly, but I remember in the discussion someone was talking about how Othello was in a way worse than Iago because he allowed himself to be so easily manipulated. And I said, well, just because, well, I probably didn't say it, but I was thinking just because someone is so susceptible to sin doesn't necessarily make them the devil. It makes them human, exactly. That's kind of how it is. Like, if you do it from the Iago is pure evil, he is like the, a manifestation of the devil. But I think that Othello is really the manifestation of a flawed human.
Yeah.
Like, he's just him.
I think that'll be the end of our Shakespeare discussion for the day.
That was good. That was a good discussion. I enjoyed talking with you, Cassie's audience.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll see you all tomorrow with another vlog.
And if you would like to see our discussion of plays from the Utah Shakespearean Festival that are not Shakespearean, then you could click an annotation that Cassie's going to put right here.
I'm not going to put an annotation. I'm going to put it in the thingity, because the thingity's cooler.
Okay.
But I can put an annotation, too.
Jaitee likes annotations. If you would like to see the our review of non-Shakespearean plays, then Cassie will put a link.
Wherever. In the thingity and an annotation.
Yes.
Whatever. Okay, bye.
Okay.
Farewell.
End transmission. That was good. That was better than the first.
That was a lot better than the first try.
See?